Hey guys, this is Rudy and Debbie coming at you live for Run for Your Life. And what we're going to talk about today, which is our first real video, the other one is just an intro, is shoes, because when it comes to running, shoes are probably the most important thing that you would certainly want to make a good investment in. Because other than for shoes you can get away with many, many different things that needn't cost you a lot of money and will work just as well as most other things. But we'll cover some of those in future videos too, including clothing. What I want to do is ask Debbie to kick off this video and talk a little bit about the shoe that she has been running in probably for a couple of years and even prior to that. So why don't you kick it off on shoes, and then I'll take over from you with the next part about shoes.
Sure. This is one of my favorite shoes and very hard to give up. The story or backstory is trying to prevent injuries. So choosing your shoe and running on it and trusting it is very important. So before buying a shoe, spend hours researching people's comments. And so because of that, this is the shoe I ended up purchasing, which has lasted approximately 2 years. However, when we decided we were going to start training for our first half marathon, I realized that long distance probably is not good in this particular shoe, which is a trail runner. So my experience so far in the shoe was very good. However, I realized I needed a professional to advise on possibly something that would be better for long distance running. So I'll share what I found works for me and maybe can work for you too.
But you like that shoe, right?
But I like the shoe.
Yeah, you liked it a lot, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you liked it so much you couldn't even donate it, right?
Yes, I still have it.
Okay. All right. So when I started jogging, I actually found almost by chance one day on a sale a pair of Brooks Ravenna 6. And man, those shoes were good for me. Like if you go back a few years, and in our intro, we said that we used to jog sort of, twice a week when we started out. Remember the days of Fitbit when everybody had a Fitbit? So the objective was to do about 10,000 steps per day. And my Brooks Ravenna 6, over a period of about a year or so, helped me to chalk up about 4.5 million steps in 1 year, which is way more than 10,000 steps on average per day. But granted, that also included walking in the shoe because I kind of just wore it as a general rule. Then Brooks discontinued the Ravenna 6, and I was very, very sad. And then I tried a few different shoes. I'm going to show a couple of them, show you a couple of these shoes, and then we'll talk about the shoes that we're running in right now. The first shoe I tried after the Ravenna 6 by Brooks is this one, which is Under Armour. And you can see it says Charged. And at the top label there, it says Charged and Cert. This is probably not a bad shoe, but I could have done better, except I didn't know then what I know now. And Debbie can talk a little bit about that in greater depth when we talk about how to choose a shoe. But you can actually see, even from the wear on the tread, that I've worn them quite a bit. Now, once again, I walked in them probably as much as what I jogged in them, in not a great jogging shoe. In fact, there might be people who are really happy with Under Armour for running. I'm not too sure, but it didn't work for me. So I changed them and I bought these, and that was even worse. This is a Reebok, and I bought these, and they were meant to be runners. I think this particular shoe, and I don't know if it's just the model. I don't even know what this one was called. Oh, it does have a little name there. It says DMX Foam. I think this might be a perfect walking shoe for old people like me, but it's not a great running shoe. In fact, in terms of the running shoes that I've used and tried, this particular shoe has been my worst experience by far. But as we went along, we got a little bit smarter, and we also communicated with some elite athletes. Debbie can tell you a little bit more about that. So why don't you tell us what you're running in now?
Okay. So after much research and deliberation, I found this particular Brooks shoe. It's, I don't know if it has a name there on the side.
So it's up here. The Ghost 14.
Oh, Ghost. Okay, so it's a newer model, and I had to trust the fact that this was going to be my new shoe. The reason I actually went and visited a professional running store is on the advice of Bruce Fordyce, who's a long distance runner from South Africa. Ultra distance. Yeah. And he runs and has done very well at the Comrades, which is ultra distance, like Rudy's saying. And so that was the reason why I actually visited a store in the first place. And this particular shoe actually has been great. And the one thing I always look for is stability. And you don't want to be running and ending up having injuries. So that's my biggest concern. And started out running and trusting this shoe. And so far, no injuries. So it's been good.
And Debbie actually reached out to Bruce Fordyce on Twitter. And you were kind of surprised that he responded, yes. Right? Bruce Fordyce won the Comrades Marathon, I think 9 or 10 times in consecutive races. The Comrades Marathon is a South African ultra distance race that is 88 kilometers. A marathon is 40. So the Comrades is just slightly more than 2 full length marathon. If you think of running a marathon, Bruce Fordyce runs the Comrades, or ran the Comrades, in a time of around 5 hours 26, 5 hours 27 minutes, which is ridiculous if you think about it. We're running two and a bit marathon in 5.5 hours. If I could run like that, then I probably wouldn't be making this video. But he responded to Debbie when she spoke to him. So what we did was he said to Debbie, why don't you spend just a little bit more? It may cost you a little bit more money, but go to a specialist store and get the right shoe for you. So surprise, my shoe that I'm running in is also a Brooks. So I'm back to Brooks. I had the Ravenna 6, and now I'm also running in a Ghost 14. And what I'm going to do, maybe for a future video, is I'll take you to the running store with my body cam camera attached and step on the computer that analyzes your feet and recommends a shoe for you. But if you find a shoe that's good for you, what you want to do is possibly get 2 of them. So these are my Ghost 14s. They're not a mismatched pair. I have 2 pairs of these, 2 of these and 2 of these. So now we are both running in Ghost 14, which is the latest model from Brooks. They are absolutely wonderful. They are almost as good as my Ravenna 6 that I used to have.
It's very interesting because in the beginning, I thought the shoe has to have a really hard sole, which the trail runner actually had. However, for long distance, that doesn't really work for me. So this particular Brooks shoe has got support and cushioning, and it's breathable, so it has worked well. So I think ultimately your shoes are really important, what you're running and if it works for you. Because preventing any kind of injuries is probably the first prize.
So guys, that's kind of a wrap on this video. It's short and sweet, but it's the most important part of any runner's attire and kit that you need. If you have good shoes, you're A for away. So in the words of super champ elite athlete Bruce Fordyce, be prepared to spend maybe just a little bit more money. Go to a specialist store and get the right shoes for you. And beyond that, as I said, there are many things that you can get away with in terms of what you do and what you eat and all that kind of stuff. But your shoes are absolutely critical. And that's why our first video is about shoes. Now we're going to be back. In fact, I'm going to be back just flying solo to give you some insight on a quick little snack treat that you can have before you go for a race. That's going to be in the next video. So on that note, this is goodbye for now. Thanks for watching. Run for your life. And if you like our videos, please subscribe. Bye-bye.